You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
No need to adjust your sets. No need to, look at your phone like, what's this? A random Go Time Dolphins episode. As we mentioned on the last episode, we was going to go live on Friday, talk about the schedule release, give our takes on it, how many wins we're going to get, all the good stuff. But we're not. Instead, we are here on schedule release day, schedule release time, with the full release schedule. Sources. That's what I'm going to say.
So, turns out we were going to go live on Friday, tell you how we felt about our takes. Okay, this week, that week. But we got the schedule early, and we were like, yo, let's release it when the actual schedule is released. So now you guys get to hear our takes as soon as they came out. We've had the schedule for a few, we're not going to say how long. We're not going to say how long we had it. But, yo, let's get into schedule release, man. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. And it's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. And one day I'm going to say that in German.
No, you're not. But that's for another episode. I would love to sit here and do jokes with you, but as you mentioned, we've got the full schedule. And even though we've got the full schedule, we haven't really looked at the full schedule.
Ain't even look at it, bro. Like, I'm looking at it now. I'm seeing teams that I ain't even look like, what is this? So yeah, Kadeem, bro, I'm gonna give you a second to look over this thing and let me know the first thing that jumped off the bat for you. Like, because I know you really didn't dive into it, but just tell us what the first thing you thought was when you first seen this.
We aren't playing New England week 1. That's the first thing that came to mind. We aren't playing New England week 1, which we've done for the last 3 to 4 years.
I want to say 3 years in a row we played New England week 1.
Yeah. So we aren't doing that, which is absolutely great. But we are on the road, and it is against the LA Chargers, which is there's no gimme game. We're going to ease you into the season. As you mentioned on the last episode, the Dolphins have the second toughest schedule in the NFL. So you don't really have many gimme weeks. And for a team that has aspirations of going deep in the playoffs and a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter who you play. You have to essentially win every single game. So week 1 on the road, LA Chargers. What do you make of that?
No tune-up games. Herbert off the bat. So now we get a whole full year of the rapping. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the talking out the way first quarter. Either you win or you lose, and then that fan base is gonna have to hear the other fan base for the entire season. Sign me up for that. So yeah, I noticed we had New England week 2 instead of week 1. Now, thing is, it's 2 back-to-back games, road games. So it's Miami at LA, Miami at New England. We don't get our opening home game until week 3 against Denver. How you feel about the first 3 games so far?
I'm not worried about New England. I am certainly not worried about Denver, especially at home. I am not worried about the Chargers, but if there's going to be a loss, week 1 is the most likely. But even then, I still reckon we'll have too much for the Chargers, not just on offense, but on defense first. We're going to see 3 preseason games of a very, very, very vanilla Vic Fangio defense which means essentially week 1, there's nothing on tape of this new Miami Dolphins defense, and we're going to unleash it. Not unleash all of it, but unleash a lot of it at Justin Herbert. I don't think he's going to have the ability to figure out Vic Fangio's defense in 4 quarters to overcome it. So I am between weeks 1 and 3, 3-0, 2-1 at the absolute minimum.
Bro, this is we're going through this schedule for the first time together. It's not like we've had it and I'm dialed up, and this is us processing the schedule right now as we speak. And I know you guys had the schedule as soon as it dropped, and we're airing this episode as soon as the schedule was released. Kadeem, I realized last year we had a 3-game road trip, right? And a three game home stint. Like we had 3 home games in a row and we had 3 away games in a row. This year we only have 2 back-to-back road games. That's it. So the first 2, week 1 and week 2, is back-to-back road games. That's it. And then week 12 and week 13 is back-to-back road games. And that's it for back-to-back road games for the rest of the schedule. So week 1 and 2 at LA, at New England, and then week 12 and 13 is at the Paper Planes and at the Commanders. To answer the question that I asked you, the first thing that I noticed was, when can we cook Buffalo? Apparently, we're not cooking Buffalo because they complained so much that the Buffalo at Miami game is the last game of the season.
There's a rumor going around social media that Buffalo legit said to the NFL, we don't want to play Miami early on the road. And if you look at both Buffalo games, week 4, 1st of October at Buffalo, I don't know how cold it's going to be, but it's not going to be a snow game pretty much. And then, like you said, the final game of the season, it's at Miami, but it's still essentially January, like the first week of January. So it's not going to be scorching weather. So essentially, whether it's true or not, I'm going to run with the narrative anyway. Buffalo are so scared to play Miami in any inclement weather, they managed to avoid both. Because again, same way we're going to go to Germany and beat Kansas, the last thing Buffalo would have wanted would have been us to roll into Buffalo in December, snow game, and beat them, because we nearly done it last year. So, yeah.
That's funny that if we go to the extreme, Buffalo at Miami, first game of the year, extreme heat. Miami at Buffalo, last game of the year, extreme cold. Yo, we signed up for both of those. Why y'all can't sign up for both of those? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, pansies, bro. They need a nickname too. What else you got for us in the schedule, Kadeem?
Not our season fell apart, but those 3 road games and all the traveling last year was really difficult. And like you said, we don't have 3 road games, but we do have 3 home games. And if you're looking at them, so 3 home games in a row. So week 14 to 16, on week 14, Tennessee come to Miami. Week 15, the Paper Planes come to Miami, and then week 16, Dallas come to Miami. Again, the first 2 to me are wins. Tennessee could be on their rookie quarterback by them. They could have benched Tannehill, nothing to play for. So they're looking at, you know what? Let's see what we've got from Will Levis. And then the Paper Planes, they got off to a bad start. And, week 15, Aaron Rodgers like, I'm retiring. I don't care no more. And then that Dallas game, you never know what you're going to get from Dallas.
Never know
Obviously,
what you're going to get from Dallas.
The NFC is easier, but you would like to imagine that the Dolphins by week 16 are just playing for the number 1 seed, and Dallas roll into Miami. We have too much for them, and we say, thanks very much. And then we go into week 17 with the number 1 seed wrapped up.
You invoked the name Tennessee, and I wonder if the NFL knows something that we don't. Like, this could be the Derrick Henry versus Tennessee game. Like Derrick Henry was traded to Miami, and Miami has to play Tennessee. Like, why else are they on the schedule? We don't play the AFC South, right?
Oh, it would be because of was that a legit question?
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I feel you. But so then you have something else. Why are we playing at Baltimore again? You see what I'm saying? Why isn't that game in Miami this time?
Yeah.
So we got Baltimore week 17, and everyone remembers the Baltimore game at Baltimore last year, where Tua threw how many touchdowns?
6.
6 touchdowns. Come on now. And that game is New Year's Eve, December 31st, week 17. Something else that I noticed, Kadeem, when we do the international game series, you have the option where you want your bye. So if you play in the international game, you have the option to say, I want the bye after the international game, or I want the bye where I want it, meaning later on in the season. Everyone knows that is, well, maybe everyone doesn't know, but everyone in the NFL would rather have that bye late. The later, the better. All right. And last time we went to London, we did not opt to take the bye. We said we're going to go to London, we're going to come back, and we're going to mop the floor with the Falcons because, like my co-host said, that defense was buns, but we lost to the Falcons. So this time around, international game, we opted to take the bye after the international game. We have New England at Miami, home. We have New England home, week 8. Then we go to Germany to play KC. Then we go on a bye. Then we have the Raiders home, week 11. I know they said we had the second hardest schedule, Kadeem. I don't mind the way it's unfolding, though, bro.
I look at the second hardest schedule, and I feel like some of those teams are hard in inverted commas because like they made the playoffs. But listen, Danny Dollars, Danny Dime, Danny Nichols, he's still the same quarterback. So the Giants don't scare me. The Panthers play in the worst division in football, or won the worst division in football. Probably starting a rookie quarterback. If he's not the week 1 starter, you would have to imagine. If he's not the week 1 starter, you would have to imagine by week 6, the Panthers are thinking the place out, and he's about to come in. And again, a rookie quarterback, even if he's into his 6th game in the NFL, I'm not scared of a rookie quarterback against the Vic Fangio defense. No offense. Again, I'm looking at the Raiders. Who the Raiders quarterback? Jimmy G. I'm not scared of Jimmy G. And again, this.
Hey, can you not say what you're not scared of on the schedule release episode? Because last time that happened, we lost to that team.
I'm just no. There's a difference. We're not invoking that clause anymore. But I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at in terms of it being the second hardest schedule in the NFL. I'm not shaking in my boots, if that makes sense.
I agree. The way I look at it, it could have been very difficult for us. We could have played at the Chargers, at New England, home against Buffalo, KC, and the Eagles in the first 6 games. That could have been a thing, but it's not. So now that we've kind of went through the schedule a little bit, we have 4 primetime games. Week 2 at New England is Sunday Night Football, primetime. Primetime episode for a primetime podcast. Then we have week 7 at Philly, primetime, Sunday Night Football. Primetime episode.
Like that game.
Primetime episode for a primetime podcast. You don't like it?
No. So it's 22nd of October, but as I've said numerous times, we don't have Sunday night football. We have Monday morning football. So the Philadelphia game falls on October 23rd, my birthday. Now, we beat the Steelers last year on my birthday, but naturally, teams I support don't do well on my birthday. So, for that reason alone, I'm not a fan of that game. But yeah, Sunday night / Monday morning football, Philadelphia, 22nd of October / 23rd of October.
But we just came off of beating the Giants, beating Carolina. We should be going in with a pretty good streak going into Philly. Then you have the Miami KC game in Germany, not necessarily a primetime game, but it is a highlighted game. So we still only have 4 primetime games up to this. Well, up to this point, we only have 2 primetime games. Then you go to Germany, whether you want to consider that primetime or not, we're in Germany. Then you have the Black Friday game, November 24th, the day after Thanksgiving, week 12 at the Paper Plains. That's a primetime game. Well, it's not a primetime game. It's a highlighted game because it's 3 in the afternoon, right?
What game is this, sorry?
Well, it's a primetime game. It's only one Black Friday game?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's primetime. So it's a primetime game. Primetime game. So that's 3 primetime games so far. 2 Sunday night footballs, 1 Black Friday, and then there's a Monday night football game. Week 14, Tennessee at Miami, December 11th. Not sure why they gave us Tennessee, but I'll take that W.
I was going to say, like, you mentioned the narrative, okay, Derrick Henry going to be a Dolphin. If he's not, I don't think Ryan Tannehill makes it to that game as a starter. So, no offense, why is Tennessee at Miami a primetime game? Unless they're looking at it going, the Dolphins played Tennessee with the playoffs on the line a couple of years ago, stunk the place out. But even then, that doesn't work.
Only Dolphin fans think like that.
Yeah.
But maybe they're thinking AFC South is so terrible, Tennessee might be the number 1, like, in the division at that time.
But then again, they said not every team is going to be on primetime this year.
Right, I get it, but I said if they're leading the division, then it's a good Miami Dolphins team in first or second in the division versus Tennessee teams that could be number 1 in the division at the time. I don't think so, but who knows? I just don't know how Tennessee fell their way into a primetime game.
Yeah. Same way. Miami at New England, is that really a Sunday night football game?
You feel me?
I feel like that's more. I feel like it's more you guys are playing the Dolphins, which is why you're on prime time. Had nothing to do with you guys. It's literally we want to see the Dolphins as much as possible. We're chucking them on prime time,
and we're giving them layups.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like NFL shot us a layup to play the Patriots in prime time and Tennessee in prime time. And there's one more option for the last game of the season to be a primetime game. It's Buffalo at Miami. The date is to be determined because it's a flex, and the time is to be determined because it's a flex. Flexing. We flexed the game last time against Buffalo. So that there's a chance for this to be 5 legitimate primetime games. If you want to say KC, Miami, and Germany is a primetime game, then there's a chance to have 6, the most primetime games you can possibly have on one schedule. All in all, I'm looking at the schedule. I'm not shaking in my boots like you said, bro.
You mentioned on the last podcast over under 3.5 primetime games, 4. So yeah, it was about that. Like you said, some of these I'm like, I don't know why you're giving us like. The Philly game made the most sense. Tua versus Jalen Hurts, primetime, 100%. We obviously knew about the Black Friday game. Looking at the schedule, I would have chucked Buffalo on primetime instead of New England.
We don't know how many primetimes Buffalo has. You see what I'm saying? And I would have thought, I thought for sure KC Miami was going to be like under the lights. You know what I'm saying? I thought for sure it'll be under the lights. So I don't know what they was thinking with KC in a whole different country. How do you do that?
We don't know everyone's schedule, but we do know KC start the season against Detroit, which is again, I think that's
yeah, bro. They
like,
dropped the ball.
like, dude, KC Buffalo, week 1, primetime.
You could do KC Cincinnati, KC
Yeah,
Miami,
yeah.
KC Eagles. You could have did all those.
But they ran KC, Detroit, and then I think Christmas Day. It's either Christmas Day. I'm not sure. Christmas Day is
Yeah, it's
KC.
Cincinnati.
Is that? I thought it was KC Raiders.
Is it? Oh, one. All right. One of them, either KC Raiders is New Year's or Christmas, and the other one is New Year's or Christmas. So KC Cincinnati is one, and KC Raiders is the other.
I can double check. So, looking at NFL. So Cincinnati at Kansas is the New Year's Eve game.
Yeah.
So then Christmas is
Raiders,
KC
yeah.
against the Raiders. So yeah, it's, and again, like you mentioned correctly, part of the reason why the Dolphins have Tennessee and New England on primetime simply might be because Buffalo and KC and these other teams have more other primetime games. Just like, well, you got to chuck someone on primetime. And the narrative, like we said earlier, Tennessee might have one former Dolphin or one former Titans play, all that kind of stuff. I guess outside of that, I like the way the schedule has fallen. Not too
For sure.
many home games in a row, not too many road games in a row. But your geography is better than mine because you live in the States. I still believe there's a lot of traveling. So traveling to the Chargers, traveling to Philadelphia, and within New York, what? Still oh yeah, because we've got the Giants at home. But how far is that Washington to Miami?
So let's think about this for a second. The worst of the schedule is week 1 and 2 because you travel to the Chargers week 1 and you travel all the way across the country as far as you can go to New England in week 2. You're probably going to come home first, right? So that's the worst of all this traveling. And then I look and then I think, well, if you have a Black Friday game, so that's like a mini bye week because you play on a short week, but you beat the Raiders the week before you had a Black Friday game. So the short week, you play the Jets, the Paper Planes, excuse me. And then you travel to Washington. That's not a big deal. I'm okay with that because you have the mini bye before you go to Washington. And then you have 3 home games at the end of the season at Miami, Tennessee, Miami, Paper Planes, Miami, Dallas, Miami, and then you travel to Baltimore. I'm okay with this, bro. So honestly, I got to be honest with you. I don't know the analytics to all the traveling. I remember one year we led the NFL in traveling mileage. I believe, off just looking at the schedule, we probably have the least, we're in the probably bottom 5 teams in least amount of travel this year. Well, that Germany one does put some miles on it, but it's not that bad, bro. Like the traveling is not that bad in my opinion. It's a lot of East Coast. Like Chargers is the only team on the West that we have to go out and play.
Looking at that 4-week stretch, KC by Raiders, Paper Planes on Black Friday. Would you have preferred to have the bye after the Raiders game to kind of not make it a short week? But no, it's more. Miami usually don't have their bye after a London game. I feel like they've done it.
But we've lost back to back. We brought the last 2 times we went to London, we lost.
Oh yeah, but that has nothing to do with what we do after, if that makes sense.
I wonder, did we lose after the Saints game in 17? Because we lost after the Jags game last in 2021. So that they might be on to something.
Miami, and you know what, that could be.
They could be on to something. Like, you know what? Like maybe the games weren't bad, but it's the weeks that followed up afterwards that we want to change. Because I'm okay having a big game like KC and then having a bye afterwards. Because if you're nursing injuries going into that week, it's like, yo, let's just get over the hump. Let's try to beat the best team in football and then take a break. It's Vegas, bro. It's not like it's Cincinnati, then the Paper Planes. You know what I'm saying? On a short week, it's Vegas. We should be able to run through Vegas and then play the Paper Planes on the short week. I don't think the Paper Planes are all that serious, though. Yeah, they're number 8 in my power rankings, but they not. They started number 8 in the power rankings. They will not finish 8 in the power rankings.
So we obviously lost to the Saints week 4, but week 5 we beat the Titans 16-10.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay. I'm okay where the bye is. I like the bye after KC, after going to Germany, doing all that traveling. I'm okay with that.
But this was a odd season. So that season was the it says here week 1 was postponed against Tampa. Did that game?
That was the hurricane. We had a hurricane that year.
So that kind of threw things around. Yeah,
that was a lot. There was a lot going on that game, that week, that year.
I think also, I mentioned this on another podcast as well. It'll be very interesting to see what the Dolphins do in terms of when they fly out to Germany, how long they stay out there for, and all that kind of stuff. Because from chatting to teams, players, coaches who have done the trip before and all that kind of stuff, they are very, very, very regimented to the point where like they bring their own toilet tissue, like they leave nothing to chance. And it's one thing the Dolphins have done it quite a few times in London. Germany's a whole different ball game. It's like, well, you know what? That could be the reason behind them saying, you know what? We'll have the bye week after because we are going to have to adjust to, Germany, all that kind of stuff.
Time zone.
Yeah. I guess it helps. You've got a home game before that, I guess.
Yeah, you can leave right away.
Yeah.
You can leave, what's that, a Sunday, October 29th. It's a late game too. Oh no, it's not. It's the 1 o'clock game. So you can leave Tuesday if you want it. And get to Germany.
What helps as well, that week 8 game, the clocks go back in Europe. So normally our games are at 6 p.m. for your 1 o'clock games. It's 5 p.m., which means they might actually gain time coming over to Europe essentially that Monday or Tuesday. But again, that's logistics, all that kind of stuff.
But their bodies will still be playing on 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Their biological time would be 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not ideal. But KC's biological clock would be playing on 8 o'clock in the morning.
But again, what you might just do is we just fly out on Friday and we don't get used to things. So for us, actually,
I don't know. You want your biological clock to be playing on 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning? You're
probably going to want to come over as early as possible.
Get acclimated.
So that 9:30 a.m. is essentially a 2:30 p.m. game for you playing in the afternoon. So
all right, Kadeem, we're halfway through this. We went through all the games on the schedule, and I know you haven't even looked at it like this, but I need to know. The people want to know what's our record.
Right. So
the way too early prediction. This is not the official prediction on the season prediction, but this is the way too early first glance prediction.
I'm gonna be my usual pessimistic self, so I don't, drink the Kool-Aid and project a 15-2 season. I'm gonna go week 1 close loss, so we're 0-1. Week 2 win 1-1, and I might get confused with the math here. Week 3 win, that's 2-1. Week 4.
Hold on. Give us the teams. For the audio listeners, give us the teams. Week 1, we lost to the Chargers.
Yep. Week 2, we beat Miami. Beat New England. Week 3, we beat Denver. Week 4, we've gone to Buffalo. We're beating Buffalo. So we're 3-1. Week 4 playing the Giants at home, beat the
Week 5,
Giants.
week 5 play the Giants.
So week 5, sorry. So week 5 beat the Giants, so we're 4-1.
Boy,
Cool.
that's a boy. Kadeem said pessimistic. Let's go. I'm feeling this.
Week 6 playing the Panthers, beat the Panthers 5-1.
So we're 5-1, and Kadeem said this is the pessimistic Kadeem. I need to, and he's not drinking Kool-Aid yet. But okay, I need to see Kadeem on the Kool-Aid then. If this is 5-1, we're 5-1 so far.
Week 7, Philadelphia at Philadelphia.
Sunday night football.
Kadeem's birthday. I'm going with an L. So we are 5-2.
5-2.
Week 8, New England at Miami. That's a dub. 6-2. Week 9, Kansas City in Germany. I'm going to that game. I'll be in Germany for that game. The Dolphins lose. I'm 0-3 watching the Dolphins or being there. The Dolphins. It's my last Dolphins game ever. So we head into the bye. 6-3?
Hold on. So we lost to Kansas City on your well, it's not your birthday because you went to the game. We lost because you are winless going to Dolphin games.
I said I'm in Germany. I'm not at the game, but I'm in Germany, and that Juju just like can't do it.
So you just brought it with you.
But it's the last game I'm ever seeing, or last time I'm ever in the same country as the Dolphins during the season. So heading to the bye 6-3.
Or we get you over the hump. We come home with that W, so you can go to the Super Bowl with us.
Perfect. So 6-3 coming into the Las Vegas game. 7-3 against
coming out of the bye. Coming out of the bye, we're 6-3.
Yeah, so come out of the bye 6-3. We beat the Raiders 7-3.
I ain't gonna lie. 6-3 out of the bye week 11 doesn't sound as appealing as it did when we were 5-1. That don't sound as sexy. But continue.
Week 12, Paper Planes, Black Friday. That's a win. So I'm at 8-3?
8-3.
Washington week 13 is a dub, 9-3. Tennessee week 14, that's a dub. I'm at 10-3.
We're warming up now.
The Paper Planes week 15, that's a dub. I'm at 11-3.
Let's go with easy money. And we're killing them on easy money at this time.
Dallas week 16, that's a dub. I'm at 12-3. The Ravens week 17
at Baltimore. New Year's Eve.
And we're 12-3? Yeah, 15, 16, 17. Yeah.
Yep, 12-3.
I'm gonna go with a W to clinch the 1 seed. And then week 18, Buffalo come to Miami. We rest starters. Buffalo win. Buffalo talk is like, dude, you literally playing our backups. Don't want to hear nothing. You playing our backups. Like, literally, that game. If I'm a player, I'm walking into Miami, shades, shorts, t-shirts. Like, yo, come talk to me. And at Buffalo win, I was like, I don't care. Like, again, come talk to me. We will see you in Miami next time we play you. So I'm finishing the schedule with, what was that?
13-4.
Yeah. And my 4 losses are week 1 at the Chargers, week 7 at Philadelphia, week 9 in Germany, and week 18 when the Buffalo comes to Miami. I have us losing 1 home game all season.
Hard Rock Stadium gonna be rocking. Might have to change it to Hard Rocking Stadium. All right. My turn. Week 1, we'll lose to the Chargers. Just so we're not comfortable. And I have to hear all the Herbert is better than Tua talk. And I'm gonna be like, yo, not right now. We're gonna lose to the Chargers just to open the season, just to put everybody on eggshells. Then we're gonna beat New England. That's 1-1. Then we're gonna come home opener, beat Denver. We're 2-1. Travel to Buffalo. Week 4, and we're gonna lose. 2-2. Can't get comfortable. Come back home. If you notice, that's three away games in the first 4 weeks. Come back home, beat the Giants and Danny Dollars because he's too comfortable off that check that he wasn't supposed to get. Puts us at 3-2. Then we start heating up. He's heating up. Carolina comes through, smacks him, covers the spread, easy money. Everyone's happy. We're 4-2. Go to Philly, Sunday Night Football. In a close game, we win. Because we went up and the lead was just too comfortable for the Philly to come back. We win, don't cover the spread, but it was like that game wasn't really that. I said it was a close game, but yeah, we will win that game. Was that 5-2?
Yeah, 5-2.
Come home, beat New England. Like, we're mopping the floor at New England. 6-2. First in the AFC East. Go to Germany. Beat KC in a close one that everyone wished could have been in the States. But KC's like, oh, wait till y'all come to Arrowhead. What's that?
7-2.
7-2 going into the bye. So you had a 6-3 going into the bye. I got a 7-2 coming into the bye.
Yep.
Come out the bye, we got the Raiders. 8-2. Black Friday, stuff on the turkey, go to the paper planes. 9-2. This is easy money, bro. Everybody's happy and easy money. Listening to Charlie Touche on Fins Up Friday, like, yo, this dude picks the bets and we're swimming in the dollars. Go to Washington, smack them, cover the spread. What's that?
10-2.
Come back home, Tennessee, beat them 11-2. Paper planes come back down. And for the life of me, I really want us to win this game. I'll give it to us. What's that, 13-2?
I've got 12-2.
12-2. We're streaking. Streaking. Do you know that song, Stroking? We're streaking. Dallas comes down and beats us in Miami, and everybody's like, are you kidding me? We lost to Dallas. Fly to Baltimore, play the track team. Well, they're not a track team. Play 3 first round receivers in Baltimore. Finally, Lamar Jackson got receivers, and we lose to Baltimore because they was waiting for this game. Like, yo, we got a trick for y'all boys. And to close the deal and walk away with the second seed in the AFC, we play Miami. We play Buffalo at Miami, but we lose. What's that? 12-5?
12-5, yeah.
I got us going 12-5, but we win the division. So that last game was like, we were playing for like the 1 seed, but even if we lose, we won the division. So we'll win the division at 12-5, but we won't get the 1 seed. That's the way too early prediction. Charlie Touche, way too early season prediction. 12-5. Kadeem got us at 13-4.
13-4, yeah.
All right, let's do one more practical off the top. Just to run through it off the top.
I've got it all noted down here. So you see the light. I've got a bye week. I've got all the numbers. So I'll get this in a easier format, and we can look back at our way too early predictions and go, wow, we were totally wrong or totally right.
Real quick on this side of bonus time, let's do You do the worst case, just running through it. I'll do best case, running through it, and then you come back and do worst case, running through it. And this is not my prediction or your prediction, but it's just the Dolphins being the Dolphins. We beat the Chargers first week, home opener. Tua's back. The return of Tua. Nah, I don't see it. I can't do it. We're losing to the Chargers. I think we lose to the Chargers, and just to put more pressure on us that we don't need. We're losing to the Chargers. It would be lovely if we beat the Chargers.
Very
Absolutely
quickly,
lovely.
we lose to the Chargers. It's going to be Tua should have taken. Sorry, Dolphins should have drafted a quarterback. Like you can't. Like Justin Herbert's done it again. It's like
Bro, that's why we're losing to the Chargers.
National
Just
media
just so we can't be happy, dog. We can't have nothing nice. You know what I'm saying? Tua ain't it. I told you Tua ain't it. Bro, that's what we're going to hear. So we're losing to the Chargers no matter how you slice this thing, but I'm still betting on it. Believe that. So we're losing to the Chargers. We'll beat New England, beat Denver, lose to Buffalo. We're still 2-2. Beat the Giants, beat Carolina, beat Philly, beat New England again, lose to KC in Germany, beat the Raiders, beat the Paper Planes, beat Washington, beat Tennessee. Now we're streaking again. Beat the Jets, Paper Planes, I'm sorry. Beat the Cowboys, 3-game home streak. Beat Baltimore. Nah, I don't see. I see 12-5 all over again, bro. With different. I just swapped out the losses.
My 13-4, I think it can be switched in terms of we split. I think you might mess around and lose the Black Friday game.
We're not losing to the Paper Planes ever, bro.
As I was saying, lose to Paper Planes, lose to Dallas, and I had us beating the Ravens and we lose to the Ravens. So that's essentially what 10-7. But again, I feel like that's what the Dolphins would have done.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't even call them trap games, but the games that you look at them and go, Miami shouldn't be losing those games. And again, Tennessee, even take out the Paper Planes, Tennessee, you somehow mess around and lose to the Patriots at home, and you somehow mess around and lose to Denver. Really, are we doing this again?
No, bro. Listen, worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario. This is, and I'm gonna speed through this. This is worst case scenario. We lose to all the good teams.
Yeah.
Chargers, Buffalo, Philly, KC, Baltimore, Buffalo. That's 6. That's 6 losses. So you're 11-6. Worst case scenario. And then just for giggles, we'll throw in a split. I can't give the Paper Planes a win. We'll throw in Dallas.
I could say
That's
Dallas.
7.
Yeah.
That's 7. That's still you're 10-7.
That's what I just said. I think I said 10-7, but I had the Paper Planes.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not going 10-7, bro.
Yeah.
We're not good. That was absolute worst case scenario. We lost to every good team on the schedule. That's absolute worst case scenario. So if the Paper Planes decided to boss up and beat us twice, that means we'll be 8-9, and that's terrible. With this roster.
Bearing in mind, Tua hasn't lost to the Paper Planes or New England yet.
Bro, I can't. Hey, yo, I'm not tipping no easy money bets. Y'all tune in for easy money because the lines are gonna be out, and just know I'm ready this year. Kadeem, that couch is gonna be empty because I'm a smack, and I'm not gonna have to move to London to live with you, bro. I'm putting a house on this year, bro. Like I'm gonna smack all over the place this year. Make sure y'all sign up for easy money this year. That's all I'm saying. You got something else before we go to bonus time?
Sources, man. Shout out to the sources.
Shout out to the sources, man. We got the schedule early, boy. Like, we really wanted to, like, yo, look what we got. But we got the schedule super early. Shout out to the sources. Hey, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health awareness. We got something else breaking?
Hannah Montana.
Oh, don't let it tip. Don't let us know. Don't tell her be quiet with the sources. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mental Health Awareness Month. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Don't suffer in silence. GTD, Go Time Dolphins are supporters of mental health awareness for sure, for sure. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Woo!
It's
schedule release.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like we already knew who we were facing. We just didn't know when we were facing them. And
which matters. It matters.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because I say
because if you're playing those 16s the first 6 weeks, that's a gauntlet.
Yeah, imagine the schedule said you open on the road first 3 games, Chargers, Philadelphia, and Kansas City, and then you've got, I guess, the Ravens. Or you know what? I'll go. You open on the road to Buffalo, Buffalo Chargers in Kansas City, and then you've got a home game against the Chargers, and then week 5 you've got the Ravens on the road, and then week 6 you've got, I don't even know, like, and all of a sudden it's like, really, like, you've given us some horrible home road games. So yeah, it's whoever
I think it could have been worse than that. It could have been, you have Buffalo week 18 at Buffalo, Paper Plains week 17 at Paper Plains, and you got a home game at Dallas week 16, and then you have KC and what else? Just KC. Yeah, New England. So you have 4 cold weather games in your last 5 It could have been worse.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
I'm cool with this, bro. I do know this. Take the over on 9.5, Vegas. Y'all tripping, bro. 9.5. Yo, lock it in, bro. Lock in 9.5. That's the easy money bet of the year. Not over 9.5 for the Dolphins. Easy money bet of the year.
Yeah, we messed around and said worst case scenario 10 wins. Absolute
10-7.
worst case scenario. And I think we're gonna find the NFL wants to see Miami in primetime, 4 primetime games, potentially 5, and you sent us to Germany to face KC. Yeah, this is going to be, the true litmus test. How good is this Dolphins team? Are they worthy of 4 primetime games? And then, listen, don't get me wrong, I would have liked to end the season on, I don't know, a Tennessee or something. But like I said, that game, the one seed going to be secured already. So is what it is.
I still believe we win the division. I genuinely believe we win the division. I've been saying that prior to Rodgers coming to the division. I believe because Rodgers is there, that just means the Bills lose more. I really believe that. I wish we had the Paper Planes earlier though. I wanted to open the season with the Paper Planes. I really did.
Yeah, I can see that. We don't play them first until week 12. again, it's not they don't have a rookie quarterback, but you would have loved to have got them early while Rodgers is still figuring things out. But at the same time, the flip side, by week 12 and certainly by week 15, you could be hating New York, hating the New York media, hating his teammates, and thinking, I
I'm
should have
out.
just stayed. Yeah, I'm done.
I'm
Like
out.
we ain't making the playoffs. I moved there for no reason, so I'm retiring in the season. And if you think I'm going to jeopardize my health for you guys, nah, not at all. I'm done. Not to mention, we could potentially face what 1, 2. Who quarterback for Washington?
Sam Howell.
So you've got potentially 2 rookie quarterbacks in Stroud and Will Levis. But there's some quarterbacks who won't want to come across the Dolphins and Vic Fangio, and even more, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Vic Fangio defense can do.
Oopsie.